morning, boys and girls. I hope you had a great Saturday. Today is Sunday, and I have a book about a mammal, and this mammal is a hippo. The book is entitled How to Be a Happy Hippo, and the author is Jonathan Shipman, and the illustrator is Sally Percy. How to Be a Happy Hippo. There was something wrong with Horace. He had everything a small hippo could possibly need. Mountains of food, lots of playthings, and plenty of mud. But Horace wasn't a happy hippo. There was something missing from his life. But he wouldn't tell his sister what it was. He wouldn't even tell his mom. And as for his dad... Well, you would have to catch Horace's dad first. He always had someone to meet or somewhere else to go, so Horace didn't get to see him much. Sometimes Horace heard his dad. He even smelled his dad once in a while. And if there was a blue moon, he sometimes got a kiss at bedtime. But all this wasn't enough for a growing hippo. Horace wanted to learn about crocodiles and how to walk along the bottom of rivers without anyone noticing and how to hold his breath. But most of all, he just wanted a good long wallow with his big, round dad. Poor Horace. He tried very hard to catch his dad, but he had no luck at all. Whenever Horace did, Mr. Hippo just wouldn't stop. There was always someone to see or somewhere to go. Horace got more and more fed up. He was upset. Then one morning, when Horace asked him to play, Mr. Hippo surprised everyone by saying, "Okay." "Yippee," said Horace, and he gave his dad a big hug and asked him when. Mr. Hippo scratched his ear and said, "I think I can manage this afternoon." Then he rushed off to work. Horace was so excited he nearly burst. He spent the morning getting everything ready. He could hardly wait for his dad to come home. What a happy hippo Horace was. He waited and waited and waited and waited some more until the sun set. He waited until the first star began to shine, but there was still no sign of Mr. Hippo. When Mrs. Hippo came to look for her little son, she didn't have to ask him what was wrong. Poor Horace was so fed up, there was only one thing he could do. He waited until all the big hippos had gone to bed, and then he tiptoed off down the jungle path in the pouring rain. Halfway along the path, Horace stopped. He drew a circle in the mud, and he began to dig. And when the hole was really good and deep, he scrambled out and carefully covered the top with sticks and grass and leaves. Then he crept back home again and fell asleep. Look how big he dug. What hole he dug. The next morning began with a loud crash. All the hippos rushed out, but Horace was the quickest. In fact, he was a bit too quick. Before you could say, "Help, heavy hippopotamus," Horace had fallen into his own hippo trap right on top of his big round dad. Mr. Hippo looked at Horace, and Horace looked at Mr. Hippo. Mr. Hippo rubbed the dirt from his eyes and snorted, and then he burst out laughing. He laughed, and he laughed, and he laughed. He picked up great big wads of sticky mud and threw it and hit Horace. So Horace picked up even bigger, wetter wads and chucked it back. It must have been a wonderful mud because they carried on all morning. You've never saw such a pair of happy hippos. After lunch, Horace and his dad rolled on their backs and chatted about big round hippo things like underwater bubbles and hairy legs and how to walk along the riverbeds. And then they did everything over and over again until the moon rose and the first star came out. By this time, Horace was so tired that Mr. Hippo had to carry him home to bed. And he was tucking Horace up. The little hippo opened his one sleepy eye and smiled at his big round dad. "I can't wait till tomorrow," he whispered. "Neither can I," said Mr. Hippo. The end. Look at all the things that Mr. Hippo and Horace did. So this is a cool story about spending time with your family. And I know you guys have lots of family time now. So go spend some time with them today. I can't wait to see you guys on Zoom. And I got all your packets ready. So they'll be on my porch ready to go. I'll tell Mom and Dad. Have a good day, guys.